The sky was as clear as the water as the sun started to sink in the western sky. Well, settle in for a beautiful night on Sophisticated Lady and just watch the sun go down and relax as we wait for the next day's adventure.
Take me to paradise.
The next morning, we all piled into the dinghy and happily set off on our first trip to the beach. We were going to a private little beach located on the south side of Carriacou. Had been to this beach before and conditions were perfect. The seas were calm and the skies were clear.
Premonition. Lately
So with both the bow and the stern anchors set and the dinghy riding nicely offshore, everyone hopped into the water and started to do what everyone loves to do at the beach. Have some fun.
I miss dancing to the reggae on the island skies. I just got to be there. Oh, girl. I miss my baby eyes. So bad.
And then, as always happens when you least expect it, disaster strikes.
We're in trouble.
Trouble indeed. With a 1,500-pound dinghy, even with all 5 of us, we didn't have enough power to flip the dinghy back over. The wave that hit us came out of nowhere and was never another wave as big, so we didn't even have that to help us flip it over. Our savior came in the form of a local dive company who happened to be passing by. The dive master swam ashore to help out, and with that one extra set of hands, we managed to get the dinghy flipped back over. After picking up all the pieces off the beach and piling them back in the dinghy, the dive master was kind enough to tow us back to Sophisticated Lady.
How's the new dinghy?
Come take me to paradise. Come on and take me to my paradise.
The amazing thing when disasters strike is how sometimes it brings people together to help solve a common problem. Here we have 5 people who, for the most part, didn't know each other only a few days prior. Yet within seconds, all hands were in the water without question to try and rectify the problem. Once back on the beach, the guys had the motor off within hours and work had already begun to get us back up and operational. There was lots to be done given that the entire console had been ripped out of the floor of the dinghy, but given the amount of trauma would have been experienced by this dinghy being pounded into the beach by the waves and surf under its own weight, it was amazing how well it survived.
I miss dancing.
The guys were great. Everything was stripped down and flushed out of all the sand and salt, and before we knew it, our little tragedy had turned into our first major accomplishment together. And isn't that the root of what every adventure should be about?
Miss my baby eyes.
And on that note, I want to congratulate my crew. You never know when something unexpected can happen, and even under unforeseen duress, the crew kept their calm and pulled together and nobody was hurt. So hats off to Jesse, Margaret, Erica, and Regina. Great job, you guys.
Take me to my paradise. Come on and take me.
Hold on.
Take me to my paradise. Take me down. Take me down there.
And as you can see, we're back up and operational, finally. So now let's get back on track and on with the next adventure.
definition of Rasta to me is the way of life. We're not a religion. We're just a way of life. Just practicing peace and love and the true meaning of life. Rasta is liberty. Rasta is life. Rasta is love. We are not, no racism. And being free don't have to hinder this man's freedom also. Your freedom, my freedom, is not to hinder no one's freedom. The logo was to grow our dreadlocks. Yes. And to eat idle food and to keep away from the city as much as we can. Yeah. Because we realize this is pollution and confusion and illusion. So the life is more in the interior, in the nature. Right now we are going up to the Aquarian age, and this age is an age of learning, or people will seek their God through nature, because the people realize that the church has failed them, and the politics also has failed us. And people will not listen to them anymore, and people are going through to get their nourishment from nature. This is why you are here. So now is the age that we have to be together, and we have to eradicate all form of racism in our head, and know that when we split our skin we get blood. God put us on earth equal. He didn't put us like this, he put us like this, equal, like a plain field. And if we understand that, and then we can live in peace with one another. And especially we have to have this peace within us. When you have the peace here, peace and love, then you can share it. But if you don't have peace and love, and you only have hate, you will share hate also. I feel Dominica is a land of centurion. We have a lot of centurion in Dominica. And if you interviewed them, they would say they eat a lot because they couldn't afford meat because they didn't have money. So there was most eating food from the ground, natural food, sometimes fish, you know, and or they grow their own little chicken. Yeah. And that was good for them. They live 112 years, 115 years, 120 years, 128 years. We have a little community just there, just 800 people. And we have four to five centurions there. Yeah, man. Natural life is the best, eh? Is the best life. You don't have to put too much load on, stretch on your mind. Try to be free. But I feel people take life too hard. Life was more sweeter. Life was just like the birds. If you follow how the birds live, life was so. But in certain time of age, man want to make money on man. So they put laws on government and to keep people in brackets or to put people in pens. So you don't have no freedom. So you go to work, from work, back to your home, back to the pen. But life is not so. Life is you have to roam. You have to go. We must have a what you call in a playground. Children need playground.
Yeah.
Not to play football and cricket and volleyball, but a playground. Whereas they can also play football or cricket, but they can plant something. They can plant their corn. They can work the land. They have a playground. They can run. You have to be at large.
Yeah.
Yeah. In 1970 to 1974, they passed a law in Dominica, permitted the growing of dreadlocks in Dominica.
You were not allowed before?
No. We had it, and certain times they pass a law. The government come and say, hey, we don't want that in Dominica. And they go to their parliament and they pass their law, all different sections of laws, and they say is kill us or shoot us or put us in prison. And this law took effect, you know. And they passed and killed how many and arrest them and
they
put us
killed
in prison.
them?
Oh yeah, a lot of youths get killed. Oh yeah, a lot of youths get killed, man, yeah man. Their explanation says that we were frightening. You know what I mean? Can you imagine? They say we were frightening, they couldn't understand that. We were telling people not to go to church, you know? But the opposition was helping the government to pass this law so that the people would cry on the government and the government would fall and the opposition will come in power. When a mother lost her son, she will cry.
Yeah.
And she will cry on the government.
Yeah.
And this government became not too much popular because the people was crying because their children in prison, their children get killed, their children get hurt. And then the government fell after that. And the lady took over. And she said, dreadlocks can grow to reach on the ground, that's not a business.